Should be good.
Okay, it's coming up quick this time.
Yeah, it's good. Do you want me to open it up or?
Yeah, you can go.
All right. Hey, hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to start by saying, Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawshai, Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawshai, Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawshai, Kahlana Hawa, Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Kakudash, and also the honor to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders great Muslim of the world, and also Shalom, to sincere Akim and their pushing truth in the name of Yahweh, Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Kakudash, who happen to be scattered around the four corners of the earth. And also Shalom to sincere Aquafate. You know, this is the brother Yashar Ma from GMS down under of you in Brisbane, and that's the brother.
This is your brother Montezaba from GMS Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah. So we're back again with another lesson, and this is going into the news and prophecy update. Now is our time to wake out of sleep. You know, as you brothers out there and sisters out there, who's been watching, paying attention or taking heed to the voice of the prophets, which is the voice of Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua speaking. And I know you've been seeing Matthew chapter 24, verse 6 and 7, playing out. You've been seeing Ezekiel 38 is about to come to pass. But before that happens, we know, Esau, not Esau, but the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, is about to use these devil, all right, Esau to, basically to bring in a reset so he can, try to bring in, try at the best of his ability to bring in the new world order, which starts by him implanting the, MOTB, the microchip. So you got anything to start with before I get a precept out here?
No, we can start with your precept.
All right. So I'm gonna start here in the book of let me see. Let me do this. Fuck yeah. This is the book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 12. It says it says it's like Romans chapter 13 verse 11, and thou knowing the time, all right, and how you gonna know the time you're in, all right, by taking heed, okay, to the watchmen, all right, the ones who are blowing the right trumpet, okay, telling you what time you're in or what season you're in, okay, because hey, if we were here bullshitting like the rest of these other camps, okay, telling you that World War III ain't gonna happen, Jacob Travi ain't gonna happen, the micro beast is on the microchip. What time is that? We in a time of just want to be here for too long, but that's not so. We in a time of trying to get the fuck out of here because that's what the scripture says. All right, hastening, the captive hastens that he might be loosed out of the prison. And the captive is who the Israelites stand the elect. We're looking forward for the kingdom of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to come quickly. Okay. It says that it says, and that knowing the time that now it is high time to wake out of sleep. And is this talking about physically sleep? No, this is spiritual sleep. Okay, meaning coming to your true power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, repenting. All right. For now is our salvation nearer than we believed. So we can see that our salvation is getting closer and closer. All right, and that salvation is gonna be when the 1/3 and the rest of the elect scattered around the four corners of the earth being delivered out of the trouble that's gonna be taking place of you on the earth, such as World War III. Okay, you're gonna have elect, in our land. It's like in so-called Middle East be delivered before those missiles are touched there. You're gonna have the 1/3 be delivered out of America before these nations should those, before these nations ICBM hit America. Okay.
Yep.
So that salvation. We see it coming. It says verse 12, the night is far spent. Okay, the night is talking about this rulership of Esau. The days at hand. The days at hand is the new kingdom we're looking forward to. Let us therefore cast off the works of the darkness. Let us put on the armor of light. Okay.
Yep.
So that's and that arm of the light represents this truth. So
That's
yeah,
right. Yeah, I got one right here. Second Esdras, chapter 14, verses 13 through 16. It says, "Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people, and comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption." And you should be doing this really on a day-to-day basis. The scripture says in 2 Corinthians 13:5, examine yourself to see if you be in the faith. All
that's
right.
right.
So by you examining the things, not only what you're doing to, please Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, but it starts with you. It starts with the inner man, and then that trickles down within your household. Okay. Because you're constantly reproving yourself. And then when you reprove yourself and you live by a certain standard based upon the scriptures and what you've been taught through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, that light shines forth even within your household. All right. And the ones, who are in trouble, okay, as the scripture says, how does it go? Where it says,
Comfort you.
yeah. And then, it's in Corinthians, but nevertheless, something to the effect of take comfort in these words, roughly paraphrasing. All right. Because these words are comfort. Okay. When you know what's going on, okay, you have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, as it says in Isaiah 33:6. Okay. You're going to be stable during these times. And see, with everything that's going on over there in the Levant region, okay, a lot of motherfuckers, they ain't stable right now. Okay.
No.
They all over the shop, right? But it says, let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature. And this is important, okay, because this is what's going to separate the elect from the ones that are just piss farting around. Okay, yeah, we got things going on in our lives. We got this coming up, this bill to pay or whatever. Okay, but all those things are temporary. Okay, that's part of mortal thoughts. Okay, Yahweh Shah said, cast up your treasures, which be in heaven. Right. And we have to put off the burden of man. So whatever it is that we may be going through, all right, put it aside, pray, fast, do whatever you need to do, and leave it in the hands of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and trust that he's going to make a way. Okay.
Right, yeah.
And then obviously put off now the weak nature, right? Because now is the time not to be feeble. Okay. Scripture's talking about those who are weak or faint-hearted, they should not be delivered in that day. All right. Yahweh Shah said, endure hardness as a good soldier. Okay. So this ain't the time to be weak in the faith. Then it says, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and hasty to flee from these times. So, because you got people out there, they thinking about, man, I just got this house. I just started paying the tuition for my son and my daughter. I got this going on. I got that going on. Right. But you shouldn't be worried about those things, man. Okay. Because this place is temporary. Matter of fact, it tells us in Micah 2 that this place is polluted. Right. So your cares should not be on, or your eyes should not be fixated on what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Okay. On this side. Because
hey, keep going. I'll come back real quick. Okay, keep going. I'll come back. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Come. So at the end of the day, people got it twisted. All right. Most of their mindset is fixated on what it is that they can do in this time and trying to make it. But when you see the signs of the times, when you see prophecy popping off the pages, as we're currently seeing right before our very eyes, you have to consider. And see, a lot of people, they're not considered. And the scriptures, okay, it gives us hope because we have an understanding. Okay. So it says, verse 15 again, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee. So whatever it is that you got going on in your mind, whatever, do away with that shit. Put that shit to the side, because it really don't matter. What matters is the kingdom. What matters is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai coming back to deliver us. Okay, because this is not living. Right. It says, and hasty to flee from these times. So this is a sort of mindset that you should be currently in right now. Okay, especially taking heed to what the prophets, beginning with the apostles, the bishops, and elders on down, okay, and the rest of like-minded men who teach the likewise same doctrine as we do. Okay. It says, verse 16, which is the main point, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. Remember, it tells us back in Daniel, the 12th chapter, okay, which let me go ahead and pull that out. Let's get that real quick. This is Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. Okay, notice it says the time of the end. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, which is who? The Israelites, beginning with you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. And the rest of you Israelites scattered amongst the heathen nations that look like the heathen nations. It says, and there should be a time of trouble, okay, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that time. So we're in that time right now, and it's only going to escalate. It's going to get further. Okay, it's going to get very uncomfortable. Okay, Yahweh Shai spoke about this as well. He called it the straight gate. Okay, for wide is the gate and broad is the way. Okay, and people that go into the broad, okay, they going right into destruction. Okay, that straight gate we're entering right now, your faith is going to be tested. Okay, strength, courage, okay, hope, trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. All of that is going to be put to the test. Okay, but the main part here, as I finish up, it says, and at that time, thy people shall be delivered, and everyone that shall be found written in the book of life. And that's key because that starts with the elect. Okay, the remnant that have been chosen before the foundations of the earth. All right, you got it.
Saki, I was sending the link to the elder, but I have a quick precept for you, Akia. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, and verse 1, and I'm gonna read this in the Amplify. It says this, right? Hold on. Dang, come on, phone. Fuck. Okay. Playing around, right? Anyway, you got Amplify over there?
Yep, I got it right here on the screen.
Yeah, just read it from there because this my phone's
okay.
tripping.
This is Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 1 in the Amplified version. It says, comfort, oh, comfort my people, says your power.
Yeah.
And
so
speak. Slaki.
No, you could. So us doing these lessons, telling you what time we're in, telling you what's going on. This right here is supposed to be comforting you because you're about to be released out of your prison, okay, out of this fucking hell condition we're in right now, man. Pursuant to the book of Micah 2 and 10, like the brother had mentioned where he was reading the book of Second Ezra, second chapter. Put your immoral thoughts away, right?
That's right.
Shalom, elder.
Shalom,
like you were reading before in the book of Second Ezra, second chapter, when it says cast your immoral thoughts away, that's going into the ways of this society. Because if you don't cast off the ways of the society, that's when Micah 2 and 10 comes to play. It will destroy you with a soul destruction, man. Okay, so it goes on and says, read on Akbabksha.
It says, speak tenderly to Jerusalem and call out to her that her time of compulsory service and warfare is finished.
Yeah, and we can see that it's coming. It's about to come to an end right now, because like we started off in the book of Romans 13 and 11, all right, and 12. That right there, that salvation. It comes with us. It comes with us being delivered out of here. So, the elect, their sins is being basically forgiven of. Now what we're waiting on, Lord willing, we are of the elect. We are waiting for salvation. Okay, so yeah, that's my my 2 cents on that out here.
Con. And Zaquan, you want to get in? You want to say anything or?
Oh no, brother, I just jumped in, so I'm gonna just follow the spirit.
No worries. All right. So with that, we want to open up the lesson with this PDF right here, because this is going to be the introduction to what's actually currently happening over there in the Levant region. All right. And within this report, okay, that dates back to 2010. Okay. You're going to see exactly the inside scoop as to what's really going on behind closed doors with this whole U.S.-Israel conflict against Iran. Now, key thing that the beloved Elder Gabar brought out the last time we were live, and he spoke about the what's the guy's name? Former U.S. Army General NATO Commander Wesley Clark, about the 7 countries, right? And if you want to touch on that again, Zaquan, just to get everybody up to speed, what you said last time, just to hit that point.
Yeah, well, there was a general, namely he was pretty. I forget what administration he was in, but Wesley General Clark had spoke about the 7 countries that America wanted to invade, and he said, I think it was Syria. Well, he mentioned what was it? I think he mentioned 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it was 7. So anyway, General Clark said that he had right before the Iraq War came to be, they were already planning in the planning stages, and they were already in the planning stages of the war, and it was like, okay, it was right after 9/11, and he went into the Pentagon and he said he talked to somebody, and they called him to the office. It's like, oh man, General, come on in here, you got to see this. He said, what's going on? He said, we're about to invade Iraq. He said, why? Well, they don't have anything to do with the terror attack that happened at 9/11. And the other guy said he didn't know. Anyway, long story short, he came up with another time, and he handed him a paper. They said, these are the 5 countries that we want to invade, right? And they said Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Iran. And they already got Iraq. Syria is already destroyed. And the new leader of Syria, he used to be opposition to America. Now they all buddy. And then Lebanon, which Lebanon was, is constantly in a disarray, particularly economically. Then they already took Libya out. They killed Gaddafi, and they took over Libya. And then Somalia, well, they split that up. And then Sudan, they got split up too. I think they got like North and South Sudan, something like that. And then the last country on the list is Iran. So we're here now, but it's starting to turn out to be a big mess for this guy, Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Because even though these devils want to do shit, it don't mean that it's going to go as planned. And this is like, I was talking to Elder Mwatazat from the Los Angeles camp. I was like, bro, like this dude, he went so far that he can't turn back. I think the one guy I was listening to, what's his name, Scott Ritter, which they tried to defame his name because he a freaky Edomite, but he got some truth. He's speaking some truth. You know what I'm saying? So they try to make basically saying that whatever he has to say, you should take it with a grain of salt because he got caught up in some sexual shit with some minors. Well, he got caught up in a sting, but it didn't matter. Like, dude was really out there. He really been there. And that's the thing. It don't matter just because you, like Elder said, it's like going to court and we talking about Iran and you bring up some shit that this dude did in his personal life. What they got to do with what's going on right now. Yep. And experts are saying that like this dude, Scott Ritter said that there was a thing in Rome where I forget what it's called. I want to call it like the Crucible, the King's Crucible, or something like that. I forget the name it said, but it's like something like that. Long story short, I had it on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, long story short, he's crossed into it. Which once you cross into that level of war, you can't turn back. You got to see it through. Yep. You got to see it through. And America thinks that it's going to come out on the up and up. You're not going to come out on the win on this side. Scott Ritter was saying how Iran had been preparing for this for over 20 years. They always knew that the U.S. would try. The U.S. and the state of Israel would try some shit, and they did it. And now, like I think they said Trump wanted to try to talk to the Iranians. What's to talk about? You killed the Ayatollah, nigga. You killed the Ayatollah, the sole controller. You killed the guy that was the head of their religious sect over there. And those are not Arabs. They're just part of the Muslim world. Those are Elamites, bro. That's a different type of animal, bro. Hey, real quick, can you get that precept where it says that the Carmanians is going to rage up.
I got you.
The water, brother. Yeah, man, you ain't fighting no Arabs, bro. This ain't the boogeyman, right? Now they're trying to make, Iran is the state sponsor of terror. Well, what America do? America do the same shit. You kill hundreds of thousands, millions of people every year, even your own people. And then
Elder, this is on. I think this is one of the Iranian news, right? It says Ali Khamenei son Mojtaba named Iran's new supreme leader.
Oh yeah, they got him. Oh, let me see. Let me look it up. Hold on.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. If I send it to you, what's up? Are you able to bring it up on your thing?
Yeah,
No, if you send it tomorrow, it's gonna come on my phone, not the thing.
Oh, okay.
Let me send it to me
in the chat.
Yeah, send it to Elder. Send it to
Yeah, I'll send it to him right now. Beautiful.
Yeah, just to back you up, Saquon. It's funny you say that because there was an article I seen earlier this morning. They said the Western media made it out as if the Iranians tried to go to both Israel and the U.S. for peace talk, and Donald Trump said it was too late. But then come to find out, when you go to the alternative news like Times of India, stuff like that, or WEON, it was actually the other way around. Trump actually reached out to them to try to cease fire, and they said, no, you basically you effed up. And then I seen on the news today on Channel 9 News here in Australia, he sat at the Oval Office and he pretty much said that it was he misjudged the situation. It was bad on his part. That's what he said.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. I wish I knew the name that he said. It's like right at the tip of my tongue, man. He said that this nigga said that he passed the he just passed a certain point, bro. Like, ain't no turning back, man. First of all, this is what Yahweh Bashar al-Shai want. If those people really dead, they really out of here. Yahweh Bashar al-Shai called for their spirit. Yeah, that's the guy right there. Ali Khamenei's son, Mojtaba, named Iran's new supreme leader. I'm not sure because from what I'm seeing right now, they're saying that he's the front runner. So whoever is chosen,
was that on their page?
Yeah, so I'm on the Times Now World, and it says whoever is chosen as Iran's new supreme leader will be targeted for elimination. Exactly. So it's like so here it is. You're gonna keep killing their leaders, and you talking about let's talk. It reminded me of my man Kang. Kang was like, if you ever watched the Loki show, some brothers good with the music. I like using movie quotes and shit. But anyway, Kang was like, yeah, he said they wanted to talk to Kang. And mind you, Kang is the man, is a he who remains. And Kang was like, yeah, sure, come on, let's talk. Come to my office, let's talk. And with the way he said it was like, what we talking about? It ain't nothing to talk about for real. I already know what's going on. I got the script right here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it doesn't matter who's the new ruler, right? They wouldn't even have a need for this guy if you hadn't smoked the last 2 or 3 guys. And they killed Ahmadinejad. Nobody's talking about that. I like that guy. Yeah, they killed Ahmadinejad in the office.
And that's what, because that happened, Zaquan, the Western media, they kept this part out. And I saw it today. They said Iran responded with 700 missiles, and they showed the video of it. They was making it rain on Tel Aviv. If you brothers have it, it's on YouTube. I'm surprised they didn't even take it down.
Well, right now, the Israelis, they're forbidding anybody within the country to videotape it or put it online. And if it do get online, they're gonna say it's AI or it's fake news, man.
So they're going through it.
Yeah, this man's a liar, right? And you can't fly there. You can't fly to Tel Aviv right now. And they got the nigga Mike Huckabee said to the Americans that stuck over there, hey, he said, hey, you got to seek shelter. You got to find shelter. You got to stay in place because you can't leave right now. And the thing is, that's what these small hats do. They got dual citizenship. So if anything happened within that country, they could just skate out like the rats they are and go back to where they originally come from. But wait a minute. I thought you were the people of the ring, right? I thought that this is your God-given right. I thought that this is for Leah. You return. Why? Once we go home, we ain't going to have no dual. First of all, the earth is gonna be ours anyway, but we ain't gonna need no dual citizenship. We going home, nigga. Yeah, that's our sovereignty. That's our sovereign right. Is to be home, Israelites, and to be in our land, dwelling in peace. But
That's right.
These small hats, they ain't doing that. But real quick, can you get that precept, Baba Kashab?
Yep. This is I'm gonna start at verse 29, 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 29. It says, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble.
Yeah, and that's because them Arabs, they remember they all over there. Hold on, the Arabs. Oh shit. Yeah, the Arabs what keeps them people together is that Islam shit.
That's right.
Muslim world, right? So this is done. They're gonna click up like they always do, like all people do, you know, right? These Arab nations, but then it's the Muslim world gonna connect because again, them Iranians, they're not Arabs, they're Elamites.
That's right. Go ahead, it says, verse 30. Also, the Carmanians raging in wrath.
Also, the Carmanians raging. So you got two nations coming together. You got the Elam with the Carmanians, and you got them Ishmaelites, man.
Yep.
And them Ishmaelites, why are they gonna be raging? Well, I'm sorry, where are you reading that at, brother?
That's 2nd Esdras 15 and 30. I think it's the next couple of verses down. I can go to the point.
No, we right there. Hold on, I just want to stay right there for a second. I just want to see what it say in the GNT. I'm sorry, 2nd Esdras 15 and 30 in the GNT.
Oh, it might not even. Do they have it?
What? Yeah, the Carmanians will come out of the forest in a fierce rage like wild boars. Advance. Well, I'll start at Hold on, bro. Let me share this real quick.
Gotcha.
So brothers can see what we're talking about in the GNT, because sometimes the GNT is a little easier to understand. Those Jake, you know what I'm saying, they have a hard time. But anyway, this is it says right here. It says verse 29. Arab. It says, well, then in the east you will suddenly, verse 28. Well, I'll start at 27. Terrible disasters have already come upon the world, and there is no escape. Right? You can't escape the judgment that's coming. You have sinned against the Most High, and He will not rescue you. Right? There's 2/3. Right? There's 2/3. You're not going to get rescued. Then in the east, you will suddenly see a fearsome sight. Arab armies with many chariots will advance like dragons. As soon as they start out, the sound of their hissing will spread across the world and bring fear and trembling to everyone who hears it. The Carmanians will come out of the forest in a fierce rage like wild boars, advancing in full strength to attack the dragons, right? To attack the dragons with their tusks, they will tear up a large part of Assyria. But the dragons will unite their forces, regain their former strength, and win the victory, and they will turn to pursue the wild boars. So it's going to be this is a part of that big war that's starting off. We're not in world. This is not World War III yet, but this is definitely something that's going to precipitate that. We're at the beginning of it. Again, you're not going. You can go back to your page, brother. We're not going to be turning back the hands of war, and it may calm down. Who knows? Cooler heads may prevail for a time, but eventually, these people, they don't forget, bro. You don't kill that many leaders in the world and think that it's going to be okay, right? I think one guy said,
his first term. Who was that he unalived from Iran in his first term?
Yeah, Salami. He called a nigga. Yeah, so he called a nigga Salami. It says one of the bros, GMS Salvation and Elect posted the Persian people, Iranians, are widely recognized for their profound resilience. Again, they said that Scott Ritter said that the Iranians were they built enough where they took the biggest blow, that they took the headshot, and they still hit. It says, forged through their thousands of years of navigating foreign invasions, political upheavals, and natural disasters. Yeah, so these people, they're war fighting people, bro. And just because they haven't been fighting, since the 80s, it don't mean that these people ain't ready to get busy. And then the Lord can put that spirit of war on you anyway. So he's putting his spirit of war on these different nations to get them going. Right? I ain't mean to take over. I just wanted to bring that up.
Zaquan, can we read that in King James Version, verse 31, real quick?
Yeah.
31. That one. It says, then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they should turn themselves, conspiring together, great power to persecute them. And then I believe you gotta go back into the history of the true nature of the Ishmael. Is the Ishmael in the book of Genesis, how they were a wild, like they were really
wild.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got it.
Yep. This is hold on, I gotta change the
because I had also when you get it, I had like
here it is right here.
a ChatGPT here real quick before you get it. Can I go through ChatGPT real quick? Go
ahead.
So it says here, right? When you start from verse, it's like here. Don't want to make these too long. So it says the Carmenians raging, like the elder already said. He says this is point to Persia, Iran forces. It says here, right? When you go down the wild bull of wood, aggressive. It says the wild bull are aggressive, destructive, hard to stop once charging. Oof.
Ooh.
Once they get rolling, man, they don't stop. They don't fear death. They live with. Remember, these people live with bombs falling out of the sky every day, right? Invasion of armies, child death. That shit don't fear them people, man. You see the one, they'll blow a building up and do to hold the dead kid in his hand, like, look what they did. Look what they did. So to them, they really believe that they're going to Allah land when they die. So these people, you know what I'm saying, when they get hot and heavy, man, that pride of America is going to really seep out when these nations start to come over here and get busy. And remember, they got these different nations, they got sleeper cells, bro. They got they got a lot of people. America open their doors to all these people. You kicking all the jakes out, man. But you letting all the other heathens in, like it's cool. And them people, you even within your own country, you got people divided. Everybody's divided on this whole thing. Some Edomites say, "Oh, we feel sorry for the kids that's dying," right? But there's men, women, and children that's getting put to death out there, bro. I mean, ain't none of them right. It don't matter. But the point of the matter is that it's happening.
Yep.
You got it, bro.
Yeah, real quick. This is Genesis 16:12 in the KJV.
Start at 11.
11? Okay, come. Genesis 16:11. And the angel of Yahweh said unto her, behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because Yahweh hath heard thy affliction.
Yasha Ma'ala, which is the Most High has heard his affliction. Yasha Ma'ala. Yep.
Verse 12. And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man.
Yeah.
Every man's hand against him.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
That's why they live close to each other. That's why they around each other. These different Arab countries, these different Arab nations, they're located amongst each other, right? They're not like scattered all around the world. I mean, you got Ishmael, they're in other countries, but as far as the nations are, they're together, right? And it says his hand will be against every man, every man's hand against him. And there was a time where the Arab boogeyman was real out here, right? Now nobody hears anything about that. No more Al-Nusra, no more Al-Qaeda. Where they at? Where them niggas just disappeared and just stopped bombing niggas up? You know what I'm saying? Like you got, and then again, like everybody wants to see the big Satan and little Satan fall anyway, right? So, and then a lot of these Israelite countries, they know that their leaders have sold out to the small hats too. Go to that word for wild man and an inner liner, Baba Gashah. You see what that say?
Okay, you have wild.
Wow, the Hebrew word there for wild is para'ah, or parah, right? Which is wild as, in a secondary sense, running wild. Yeah. And them niggas are running wild, man. Them niggas are running the scene, screaming Ali Akbar, boom. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? That shit really go down.
Over.
Yeah, that's cool right there. That was it.
Okay, Con. Go ahead.
You can go back to your thing.
Okay.
Article. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, basically just real quick. So this is known as the Rockefeller Foundation 2010 annual report, which is called Scenarios for the Future of Technology and International Development. All right. Now, why is this important? Because basically in this report, it actually tells you, do this real quick, of what they are planning to do. All right, that's not gonna work. So let me just do this, go straight to the point. Now, in their scenarios, okay, you have something that's called, they call it here, they got 4 scenarios for their new world order. All right. And the first step is known as the lockstep, which this has already happened about 4 to 5 years ago through their means of the pandemic. And so essentially what they did was they used that scenario that happened back in 2020 to usher in stuff like facial technology, barcode scanning, infrared, okay, linking with digital ID, right? Now we are in the phase, as it says here, hack attack. All right. Now, hack attack, it says an economically unstable and shock prone world in which governments weaken, criminals thrive, and dangerous innovations emerge. Right. Now, why is this important? Well, if we go all the way down to hack attack, and I'm just going to read this small little portion because this is going to tie into the articles we have that's going on over there in the Levant region, and also a video that we also have lined up. Now, I'm going to start right here. Now, remember, this was back in 2010. This report, they just giving you basic scenarios on how they want things to play out in real time. Okay. And this is what these devils do. Now, it says real quick right here, it says these dire circumstances forced tough trade-offs. In 2015, the U.S. reallocated a large share of its defense spending to domestic concerns, pulling out of Afghanistan. Now, we saw what happened a few years ago, hence why Great Britain got pissed off when the U.S. basically, they just packed all their shit from Afghanistan and they bounced. You see what I'm saying? And Britain, they still pissed off with that. But anyway, it says where the resurgent Taliban sees power once again. Now, here's the key point. In Europe, Asia, South America, and Africa, more and more nation states lost control of their public finances, along with the capacity to help their citizens and retain stability and order. And resource scarcities and trade disputes, we see that going on right now. The latest one is with Spain. Okay. Trump wants to put out a tariff against the Spaniards because they blocked access of the United States using their military bases. Okay. It says, together with severe economic and climate stresses, pushing many alliances and partnerships to the breaking point. They also sparked proxy wars and low-level conflict in resource-rich parts of the developing world. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That links up with what's it? I want to say Micah chapter 2, where it speaks about
Micah 2.
Yeah. Micah 2.
Bring that out. Yep.
Yeah. That link up right there with Micah 2 and 2. They start these wars, these conflicts in resource-rich areas. Why? So they can get them resources, man. Micah 2 and 2 says, and they covet fields. Well, I'll start at 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in their power of their hand, right? In that power of their hand is they work with demons on the left-hand side. And they covet fields and they covet fields and take them by violence in houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his own heritage. And then can you read that verse 2 in the NLT?
Yep. Let me grab it real quick.
Yeah, in the NLT it says, when you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. When you want someone's house, you take it by fraud and violence. You cheat a man of his property and stealing his family's inheritance, man. And that's those resources are those people's inheritance of their land, right? But you'll find a reason to go in there. Oh, they're sponsors. The quickest one they've been using since 9/11 is, oh, they're state sponsors of terrorism, right? Yep. But they never mention how America state sponsors terrorism, right? They created Al-Nusra, they created Al-Qaeda, right? They came out, they've been said all of that. They created these clandestine groups to Boko Haram, these different groups, to do what? To create instability within these different nations so they can make it easier to plunder them, right? And they do it by businesses, different corporations. They namely use puppet leaders, right? People, they'll kill them too. They'll kill the leader, they don't care, right? They do all of this. That's fraud and violence, man. So they cheat him out of his property. But you got it, bro. I just want to bring it
up. Quick precept for you, Elder.
Bring it up.
This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, and verse 6. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him and taunt proverb against him?
That's Habakkuk, get it? You said Micah.
It's like Habakkuk 2 and 6. My fault.
Habakkuk.
It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. You know, and that's what, you know, Micah 2 and 2 goes into, and that's what you know, the article the brother was reading, it ties in with this right here. That's what these you know, this devil is doing, you know, trying to accomplish. Basically, even when you read verse 5 in there, it goes more into that, high trying to heap all nations unto him and all people unto him, you know, and then how he's never satisfied. So I'm gonna read on. It says, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, and that goes into that depth.
Yeah, because they didn't get somebody. Sorry, it's lucky, but you got it.
No, you got it. It's okay.
So they get to somebody, and the people that they in debt to are the ruling elite, man. All they're doing is they're trying to consolidate. They consolidating the world so they can flip it to this digital slavery for the whole entire planet. Right, they want to manage the resources and take it to themselves. You got it, bro.
Yep, and that brings me, after reading that article, that brings me to this. This is from End Time Headlines. It says, as of March the 2nd of 2026, war in Iran could lead to guaranteed global recession because of one choke point that is crucial to the world economy.
Yeah,
right.
Straight Hormuz, man.
Yep, and that's what it's all about, right? And then also, check this out. This comes the very next day. Now, all of a sudden, U.S. banks are placed on high alert for cyber attacks.
And I was just telling the Elder Marcus the same thing. I was like, "Yo, this is what they want. They wanted to set this. They set this thing off with Iran. So now anything that happens, cyber attacks,
bingo.
What's it called? TA attacks. I mean, TS. All of that shit is going to be blamed on Iran. Or they're going to blame it on Iran, even if it's Mossad, even if it's the CIA, even if it's another group. The first people they're going to blame is like, oh, this is payback for what they did. And Iran, they claiming that Iran throwing these threats out here saying America will never be the same again after what happened. This is what they was all planning for. This is going to play in the hands of the global reset. Oh, they cyber attack. They took people money. The money system is jacked up because Iran's superpower hackers, you know, took everybody down. It's easy to blame them. And then here come the money shot, the RFID microchip. We got everybody has to get UBI now. These people that's in this war-torn country who've been destabilized by outside influences forever and a day, they got the power to get these cyber attacks going, because they're not going to pack people on those ships and planes and invade America. It's too far. So that's why even the guy, one of the leaders in Iran, he's a spokesman for him. he said that they asked him a question. Well, why, if the Arabs are your neighbors and y'all got good business with them, connections with them or whatever, why are you bombing inside of their countries? And he said we already let them know that we're going to bomb the American assets within these countries. America, so all these bases and shit is really toward America. It ain't toward them people. Now they can take it that way, but again, all this was set off on purpose so this could happen, because this is the new Trojan horse. This is the new what they call it, the false flag, the cyber attacks. They've been warning about cyber attacks for years. A couple of years ago, one president, he was like, "Oh, we're gonna have cyber attacks coming, cyber attacks," and now because of the Iranian shit, you can just blame it on some Iranians in a dirty ass room. Oh, they just hacked Manhattan. They just hacked the top banks of America that's too big to fail. Now let's introduce the digital reset, the digital. This is the reason why we have to have a reset. Watch, I'm telling you, man. Like the brother said, they have opened Pandora's box. Exactly, brother.
God. I'm gonna play this. This is fair use. The brother just sent me this. This is fair use.
Yeah.
The program was considered the most cost-effective way to destabilize a country. Because if the target nation was dysfunctional enough, it would, in essence, do the work for you. A simple 3-stage maneuver that could topple a country's government from within. First stage was isolation. Disable their communication and transportation. Second stage, synchronized chaos. Terrorize them with covert attacks and misinformation. Without a clear enemy or motive, people would start turning on each other. Done successfully, third stage would happen on its own. What's the third stage? Civil war.
And that's what's going to happen when people going to be out here starving. People are going to be crying. People going to be. They're going to be blaming it on this person and that person. It's the nigger's fault. It's the colored's fault. It's the white man. It's the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats. It's the nigger lovers' fault. It's everybody's fault. That's what they
immigrants.
Immigrants. They're already blaming the immigrants.
Oh yeah.
They're already blaming the immigrant. And these white supremacists, they can't wait to get hot and heavy. They looking for any reason. Now, it may not happen the same way that guy said it, but a lot of this stuff they put in movies, it be real stuff.
That's right.
And it may not play out this, but we had a movie a couple years ago called The Civil War, which we went to go see. Yeah, that shit was good. And the guy asked him,
shit was heavy, man. It was good.
Yeah, discount Matt Damon. He was like, "What kind of American are you?" And then he killed the Chinese dude, man. Yeah, he shot him in the head. I was like, damn. And they ran up in and tried to get the president. They smoked him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got him. So it's a lack of cybersecurity has become clear and immediate danger to our society. Klaus Schwab. Oh yeah. Oh, I guess
this one might be you, right?
Yeah, the brother had posted that the quote in the chat, but you got it, brother.
Okay.
We all know, but still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
Yep.
To use the COVID-19 crisis as a timely opportunity to reflect on the lessons the cybersecurity community can draw and improve our preparedness for a potential cyber pandemic.
Cyber pandemic. And that's what they were preparing for.
Damn.
That's exactly what they were preparing for. They said it was gonna be another pandemic. And this one you ain't gonna be able to escape. That's what they said. Right? And it ain't gonna be no PPP loans. None of that. Y'all fucked that up. You know what I'm saying? Esau, they fucked them PPP loans up. So they did that on purpose. So now don't expect these countries, these nations to open back up as business for usual. When they open back up, it's going to be highly restrictive. Everything.
That's right.
Because now everything is going to be made bare. All your information, I mean, which is already being attacked. Like all of our information is on a dark web anyway. You know what I'm saying? Or in somebody else's hands, you know, being used, you know.
Hey, Elder, can you go back to the article you put up? Because there was something we gotta show. I don't know if we touched on it yet.
Okay. On this one here or the second one?
No, the first one. They're going into the Rockefeller.
Oh, the Rockefeller one.
Yeah, go down to the 4 steps.
Oh, go back to the 4 steps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the one? Down. Do we touch it on it? Oh, right. That's it right there, right? See?
Yep.
The log step, hack attack, that's going to the cyber attack, right?
Yep.
And then clever together, that's bringing the new world order, right?
That's right.
Which highly coordinated and successful strategies emerged for addressing both urgent and entrenched worldwide issues. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then smart scramble.
In an economically depressed world in which individuals and communities develop localized makeshift solutions to growing set of problems. Okay.
You see, you can see that you got to
okay.
Like says, you know, you got to get hit to the language and stuff, and they putting it out there. And when you understand the scriptures, you can see right through the BS.
Yeah, because really they trying to make it seem like this new system is going to be more beneficial to the average person. To the in reality, it's going to be a prison.
That's right.
They're going to set things up so bad. Dick Cheney said this. He said that conditions going to be so bad that they're going to be begging us for a solution, right? And this is the reason why they had these attacks. This is the reason why they had these T attacks, you know, because they want to get people crippled, right? And you got all this shit going on now. You got the war with Iran, the so-called war with Iran, the conflict with Iran. Then you're gonna have a major cyber attack. Everything's gonna be halted. Klaus Schwab said it. The hospitals, all of that shit. Internet's gonna be down. Your social media, people that's getting money on social media, they're gonna die because they can't get bread no more, right? The money system gonna be all fucked up. And then what's gonna happen? Miraculously, we got a better plan. It's a new plan. Everybody's gonna get UBI, and it'll hold you over, right? But it's gonna be restricted money. You got to go online. You got to create a digital ID application. I don't know. Something's online or on your phone, or just download this app, right? Create a digital ID, and then you can get your UBI. You get your UBI, right? And eventually, it's gonna go to the chip. That chip got to come. And I'm sorry, brother, you got it.
No, I was just backing you up. It has to come.
Yeah, it's part of the reset. Yeah, it's part of the reset. What we're witnessing right now is a reset. You had an article that said something about a cyber attack. I wanted to kind of read it a little bit.
Okay, let's go here.
Yeah, right here. US banks. Let me read the title again, brother. U.S. banks are placed on high alert for cyber attacks. This was yesterday, May 3rd, 2026.
That's right. Yep. You want me to read it a little bit?
We'll start at the.
It says the U.S. financial services industry is on heightened alert for potential cyber attacks amid the unfolding U.S. war in Iran.
And this is why Iran said what? The U.S. will not be the same.
Nope.
Threaten that. Right, go ahead.
With firms stepping up monitoring for threats that often rise during periods of geopolitical conflict, said executives and analysts.
Mm-hmm.
The killing or unaliving of Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei last weekend in an airstrike has sparked a conflagration in the Middle East that has roiled markets globally and stoked concerns over the potential for Iran-linked cyber attacks on U.S. financial services operations.
And we just said it. They're gonna try to blame these people for this shit. and they may or may not be guilty of it, but America should be guilty because your system is so weak. You made your system weak on purpose so that you can it and you can start over because they're demolishing the fiat currency and they need a reason to do it.
They need a reason to do it. Yep.
This is the reason. When war happens, anything goes, man. You got it, brother.
Yep. It says cybersecurity has long been a top priority for the financial services industry, which operates critical U.S. infrastructure, including payments, clearing, and settlement systems, as well as trading platforms and treasury markets, making it a top target for cyber attacks, according to industry data.
So we did last paragraph again.
Yep. The industry remains vigilant and ready to respond to cyber threats at all times, and especially when global cybersecurity risks are heightened, said Todd Klesman, managing director for financial services, cyber, and technology at industry group SIFMA, which runs an annual exercise to ensure financial firms can operate through significant cyber emergencies.
Yeah, and then a few years ago, major financial groups moved from New York City to Chicago, and everybody was wondering like, why are they doing that? Why are they moving from New York City going to Chicago? And hey, this may be it. I want to say there was a Go ahead and keep reading, brother. I mean, keep speaking. I'm gonna find this picture.
It says, quote, "We continue to monitor the current situation with a focus on operational resilience, which is foundational to the integrity and stability of the U.S. capital markets," Klesman said. Another top banking industry official said lenders are very concerned about the risk of cyber attacks, which they see as likely. And according to a U.S. intelligence assessment that Reuters reported on Monday, Iran-aligned hacktivists could conduct low-level cyber attacks against U.S. networks, such as distributed denial of service attacks, whereby hostile actors overwhelm a targeted server with a flood of internet traffic. So there you go.
There was something on the Cleveland show. I remember Elder Kazak brought it out, and this dude named Rollo, he's a little guy on there. He had a T-shirt on that said Chicago. I want to say it might have said 2026, but I'm not sure. You know, because they put stuff in pop culture, but it goes over your head. And I'm trying to look for it. Y'all got it, bro.
Con. And to the last video we got for you, Akim, because this was shared by me by the beloved brother Kaya from GMS Arizona, and I sent this to the brother Yashar, and I said we have to jump on this because what mainstream media is telling you, they're telling you, as Trump said today, and he backtracked on his words. He said that we believe the reason why we attacked Iran is because we believe that they was going to do something first, and then it went on to say that basically they wanted Iran to stop building with the access that they had to uranium. They didn't want them to make any sort of nuclear bombs or whatever the case may be, right? Only for, I forget the guy's name, to come out. He said when they went into the war room to investigate, it was determined that Iran was really no major threat to the U.S., right? Well, this lady right here, okay, her name is Catherine Austin Fitts, okay? And she basically was an American investment banker and a former public official who served as a managing director of Dillon, Reed & Co. Okay, and she was around during the time of George H.W. Bush when he was in office. Okay, and prior to him being in office at that time, she was the United States Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development of Housing. So if anybody who would know about what the elites are about to establish in terms of the digital ID linked with the MOTB, the RFID microchip, it's her. And this just came out about a day or two ago. Tucker Carlson was able to link up with her, and she's going to tell you what's really going on behind closed doors. Forget about the Epstein files and all of that nonsense, all of these bread and circus acts and all that shit. Listen to what she's about to tell you, what's really going on, why this war sparked off. All right, let's take it back.
If you go back to, and when Wesley Clark said we're gonna invade 7 countries in 5 years, what you were talking about were the countries where those central banks were not on board to do programmable money, and their governance structures were not on board with essentially, because of Epstein, I'll call it the Rockefeller Rothschild model. There was an effort to say, okay, we're going to basically assert control of the central banks in those countries. That's my interpretation. And I think one of the reasons we're seeing so much tension around Iran is because Iran right now is the big leakage in the system.
How?
So,
it's not about their nukes?
No. So, Iran's central bank counts. One of the reasons it counts is because their oil and energy is very important, including for China.
Yeah.
And that's very important in the BRICS system. What the BRICS system is trying to do is to create independent payment systems. But if you're going to come out with programmable money, with digital IDs that are interoperable globally, and programmable money that controls in each jurisdiction centrally, you can't afford leakage. And so you've got way too much leakage in the system to proceed with what they're trying to do. And Iran and the BRIC nations are a sticking point. And certainly Iran's oil, feeding China gives China greater independence.
It was really easy. I rang up yesterday morning. They came. Rubbish.
So you think that one of the motives behind toppling all these governments was the creation of the control grid we're talking about now?
Right. So if you go back, so you had the wonderful Richard Werner on your show. Yeah. And Richard has a book called The Princes of the Yen, which is about the sort of effort to take over the Japanese central bank. And I think what you're looking at, I think part of the state of play with both Russia and Iran is how are you going to make sure that those central banks are entirely in the system?
So
now, real quick, before I let it play, because I showed the brother this, I went ahead and the spirit hopped on me to look up this, and I Googled it, and this is commons.wickedmedia.org, and countries without the Rothschild Bank. Now, when you come down here, I have it highlighted, and this was last updated as the 5th of January, 2026. So this is currently of this year. Now it says 8 out of 9 remaining countries without central banks owned or controlled by the Rothschilds family. You have Bolivia, you have China, you have Cuba, Iran, Russia, Sudan, Japan, which she just named in the video, Syria, and the Vatican City, right? Now, some of these countries, because Iran does have a central bank, but when you look it up, all right, and Salaki, can you brothers still hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, when you actually look it up, because Esau likes to mess with the audio when shit get real. When you look into Iran, it says that they do have a central bank, but it's not westernized in terms of being under the Rothschilds authority, right? And so going back to the video, this is what she's going into. And this is strategic because, as she said, if they don't get control of that, right? Because you have the whole greater Israel thing and stuff like that, that's what they want to accomplish. But if they can get control, right? Because you have the BRICS, remember you got the BRICS digital coin. That's forgotten. A lot of people still sleeping on that, right? So all the nations, they're rushing to see who's going to be the new leader for the new world, because they're damn sure it ain't Babylon the Great anymore. And you had dude from Germany, he made that very clear about a month ago. He said, we are in dire of a new leader, right? And so all of these nations, they kind of going at it to see who's going to be the one to come on top to implement this, to set up the new world. But
real quick, this is Psalms chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Why do the heathens rage?"
That's the spirit. I had that pulled out for a long time.
God, brother. This is Psalms 2:1. Why do the heathens rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh Bashem Shai and against his anointed, saying, "Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us." Right? And they think that they're going in the NLT, it says, why are the nations so angry? Why do they waste their time with futile plans? This whole reset, this whole, what the brother was going into about these nations supposedly jockeying for who's going to have preeminence in the new world. In the new world, it's going to be a global thing. It's not one country that's going to be on top. The elite going to want control of the whole earth. Well, they already got it, but they want total control of the whole earth, right? In all countries, and everything going to flow one way, and that's up, right? Yep. And that's why money is going to be programmable. It's only going. She had mentioned districts. You're only going to be able to move within your district. You're not going to be able to go outside of that. And if you are, your money and all that other stuff is still going to be programmable no matter where you go. Mm-hmm. Everything's going to be restricted. It says the kings of the earth prepare for battle. The rulers plot together against Yahweh Bashem Shai and against his anointed one. Let us break their chains, they cry, and free ourselves from slavery to the Most High. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to avoid going into captivity. That's what it is. They're trying to free themselves from the slavery that they're about to get, right? Because they're going to have to follow our laws and commandments. They're going to have to be underneath for us. And they don't want that. But the point of the matter is that what you're hearing about in reality, the BRICS, according to any other nations, they're all moving towards a digital currency, a controlled digital currency, right? That's going to flow. That's going to flow within a new system. No one's going to be independent. No nation is going to be independent of another nation. They're all going to be interoperable and interdependent on each other because that's the way the new system is going to work. They're just going about it different ways, right? They talk about these central banks. The reason why they're doing this is because of central banks. No, what they're doing is a global reset, and they're using these wars as an opportunity. They're using these conflicts as an opportunity to bring this global reset. They're flushing America down the toilet because America is no longer needed in a new system. You don't need a world power anymore because the power is going to be with the elite. So you don't need America to be the number one nation. You don't need the dollar to be pegged to the OPEC. I mean, to the OPEC dollar to be pegged to the oil no more. You ain't gonna need that, right? So this is what they're truly pushing for. All this is just a catapult for the global reset. You got it, bro.
Real quick.
Quick
yeah, go ahead, Yashar.
Go ahead. Job chapter 5 and verse 12. It says, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that the hand cannot perform the enterprise. And that's going into this, the new world order that they're trying to set up. That's not going to go forward, man. Everybody have. Sakya?
I was going to say, affliction shall not rise a second time.
That's right.
Book 1 and 9.
Mm-hmm. When you read that in let me see, in AMP, let me see if I can get it right here. It says here, he frustrates the devices and schemes of the crafty, which is Esau. All right, and then it says, so that their hands cannot attain success or achieve anything of lasting worthy or worth, which like this NWO they're trying to bring forth, bring all these nations together. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can try here. I mean, it's like they can try go and do it, but at the end of the day, they're being controlled by the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Psalms 73 speaks on how you're not gonna go forward with it. It's gonna fail in the midst of it. Job 20, I think. Yeah,
Job 20. The joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment, right? And what Job 14 and 5 it says, seeing the Most High has set his boundaries, we cannot cross. Right, so it's that's what he can't get in his head. And the scripture also says when he's about to fill his belly, then Yahweh Bashem Shai gonna rain that judgment down on him. Right, and that's not metaphorical. That's not analogy. That's nuclear missiles, man. You got it, bro.
God, yeah, and the reason why he can't get it through his head is because his heart is being made hard, just like the Pharaoh of Egypt. You know what I mean?
That's right.
That spirit is on him. You know, he really, as the scripture says, right? He sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High.
Yep.
But
and then with this whole new world order they're trying to bring, this is first Thessalonians 5:3, when it says peace and safety, because that mark of the beast comes with a way of like Easter's going to bring it as a way of like basically showing stability worldwide.
Yep.
Through the chip. But guess what? Somehow, again, Sirach chapter 12, never trust thy enemy, which is Esau, especially those Amalekites. Again, what they're going to do is they're going to do what we've been bringing now, which is Jeremiah chapter 40. Is that 48?
Which one?
The least of the flock she brought them out.
Jeremiah 49:20. Yep.
Yeah, 49:20. So that is going to happen no matter what. Like this whole situation, like the apostles be saying, the elder bishops, the elders be saying, like this whole situation happening over there in the Middle East is not World War III, but it's eventually, this is a way of Easter's trying to, deceive, these zombies out here, of him bringing out the new world order. Okay, put you in a position to where you're gonna basically beg for it, like the C-19. You had to beg for the jump shot to have, to have freedom again.
Yeah, like they had that movie. I don't know if y'all remember that show. Damn, I forget the name of that show, but it came out right around the time of the 19, and I forget the name of this. Was it? It's not Contagion. It was called something. It was a show that came on either Amazon Prime or one of them, Netflix, I believe.
What was the show?
Yeah, it was a TV show. It was a British show, and they made an American show. It had John Cusack in it. This dude named John Cusack. He was in his show, and it was all about they had a scene where the people were crying for the VAX, right?
Are you looking it up?
Yeah, it's called it was called not Frozen. That wasn't Identity. Jack Bull, the Raven. I'm trying to
Utopia. The brother said Utopia.
Yeah, Utopia. The water brother. Yeah, Utopia. Yeah, Utopia. That was a hell of a show. And the point of the matter was, every time they showed the show before it came on, they had to give you a warning that this show does not, pertain to anything that's happening right now. It really did. It really did. Yeah. It was like they were yelling for the vax, man, because they wanted to see their children. And y'all didn't see that show? Oh man, y'all should have seen. That's like
watch that now.
Yeah, Utopia, man. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but they took it off because it was so good. People were waiting for the next season, and they took it off.
Yeah, I think I watched it because I was looking forward for the next season, but it got canceled.
Yeah, it came out in 2020.
Yeah, it was. I was watching that shit during the C-19.
Yeah, it was on Amazon Prime. It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay. I have to look that one up.
Yeah, like the brother said, it was 100% spot on. Yep.
I got this just to back you up, Saquon. This is called Beyond the Reset. Now, this came out around the time of COVID. All right. So for any brother who haven't seen it, I highly recommend watch this clip. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna just do this. Just post it. And we'll go from there. Now, what this clip is showing you is basically showing you how it's going to be when they establish their new world order, and how everybody's going to be connected to the digital system, and how, as Aquan mentioned, they're going to put you on what's called a universal basic income system, which is also going to be linked to what they call a social credit score.
Yep.
And also your carbon footprint.
Yep.
All right. Now, what? Yeah, go ahead.
That's why, like in the new system, you ain't gonna be able to travel too much because you're gonna be using your carbon footprint up too much. So you can forget about flying on a plane or driving a car long distances. Yep.
Also, that's why these devil over here in Australia. I don't know if it's happening over there in Hawaii. I know Melbourne like it's Melbourne City over there where the brothers at. The whole city, basically, they are trying to eliminate cars, and what they're doing is giving you those scooters.
Yep.
Electric scooters. And over here, they've been putting those electric scooters in suburbs, man.
Yeah, they got electric scooters and bikes here too.
Yeah, like in the suburb where I live, you drive around the corner, you see a fucking purple scooters parked, like, parked around. You're like, what the fuck this thing's doing in here? But it's just it's programming you to get used of seeing these things. Because let's say when our time comes where you can't travel, the gas is too expensive, but the only thing that's left for you is hopping on our motherfucking scooter, go to the fucking store, man.
Yeah, and you got to use your credit. You got to use your chip to activate it. Yeah. You can only because right now you use your credit card. You got to use your credit card and shit. Put it in there, and then it only works for. It's called a micro payment. So you just paying for the usage, and they're getting you. That's part of gradualism. Like, because you ain't going 100 miles on no scooter. You're not going 100 miles on no electric bike. So you got it, bro. You can play the video.
All right, this is a short little clip.
I can't hear it, brother.
Oh, Salakia. Let me make sure this is up.
You started from the beginning. I think you started from like the. Oh no! That's 24 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm just starting from right here.
Yeah,
let me just take it back a little bit right here. Make sure you brothers can hear. All right. Okay, should work now.
Nah, can't hear that. It's just a.
Yeah, there's no sound to it.
No sound. So what you do is stop sharing the screen, reshare the screen, and then hit the audio on it on the bottom of the thing. Yeah. Sometimes it go out. Yeah, I need to check this out. I'm trying to check this out.
Hold on, let me fix it again. Okay, let's try it again.
Yep.
Bruce Kowalski, your monthly universal basic income has been deposited into your account. For more information, press details. You have been paid 2,000 central bank digital tokens. The following fees are being deducted: accommodation fee, food ration fee, recycling fee, clean energy fee, personal greenhouse gas emissions fee, climate change fee, diversity fee. Your current remaining balance is 5 central bank digital tokens, and if not spent, it will expire in 7 days.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Look at it.
Look at it.
He in a room. Shit. Broke, busted, and disgusted with five tokens. Right? And then, like, you got like women, they got like 4 or 5 kids, and each of them get a token. They think they're going to put all that together and eat. Nope. Because you're only allowed to get certain stuff, and they're going to know the age of the kids. So certain kids, you can't buy certain shit. Right. And but this is definitely real because the money is set to expire. Universal basic income. What's this dude, Elon Musk? We did a lesson last night. I believe me and Elder Yashar, we did a lesson which was kind of going into this. And Elon Musk was talking about universal high income, like, because it's going to be some people going to get more, some people going to get less, but the money going to expire either way, and you can only spend on certain shit. Like, so they got him. He had to pay his rent, and that's how Jake feel when he get that paycheck. Now, as soon as you get your paycheck, but see, the difference is when you get your paycheck, you can choose whether you want to pay something or not. But what, like Aaron Russo said, if you owe them any money, they'll just take it out. They'll just take it out of your chip, right? So first it's going to be, they're going to give you this. This is part of the gradualization. It may look like just a animated short, but this is what they want.
Yep.
Right? This is what they intend on getting out of this whole situation. Right, programmable money. Old girl, Catherine Fritz. She always talking about programmable money, right? She always talking about money that expires, right? She talk about the chip, all of this stuff, and this is what this is leading to. And he has nothing. The guy in his name, Bruce, whatever his name is, the Klaus Schwab said you would have nothing and be happy. Why would you have nothing? Because everything is going to be taxed. Everything's going to be taken out. And they're not going to wait for you to pay the money. Right? They're not going to know. As soon as you get paid, you 12 o'clock, $2,000. It's gone. You got five. How you going to survive off of $5 for the rest of the month? 5 tokens. It's not possible. But then when you do go out to the store to buy certain stuff, you ain't going to be able to buy certain shit. Because that money, it's just like SNAP benefits in America. That's programmable money. You can't buy certain stuff with that in certain places. You know what I mean? You got it, bro.
That's second Ezra chapter 16, verse 40 going downwards.
Mm-hmm. What does it say?
You can start second Ezra chapter 16, verse 40, if you want to put it up, or try reading GNL. If you don't want
I got it.
GNLT, con.
I'm sorry, second address.
Oh, Slakia.
Chapter 16, verse 40.
Mm-hmm. Second address, chapter 16, verse 40 in the GNT. It says, listen to my message, my people, and get ready for the battle. When a disaster comes, you must live as people whose home is not in this world, right? Mm-hmm. And that's how we live. This is not our world. Right, we're pilgrims. Merchants must not expect to make a profit from what they sell. Yup, you're not gonna make a profit. You have nothing, and you'll be happy because what you're doing is you're just trading those tokens for your goods. That's all you're gonna get. They must be ready. Well, Elon Musk claims that you had 4 years to be wealthy, right? And that was it. So it says, it says merchants must not expect to make a profit from what they sell. They must be ready to run for their lives, right? And that's because all hell's gonna break loose out here. Their customers must expect to lose whatever they buy. Yep. So you buy something, expect to lose it, right? Whoever builds a house should not plan to live in it. Exactly. Because you never. Slacky, you got it, bro.
Oh no, so I would say FEMA Kim.
Yeah, FEMA Kim. It's like you're gonna have to get out your house. You're gonna have to go on a run. Some of us may be on the move. Right, we ain't gonna be in the places that when all these creature comforts that you got right now get in your mind that you're gonna have to leave it at any moment, and that's gonna be hard for a lot of these women, especially these women with children. They don't know what the fuck's going on. Why we gotta leave? I don't understand. Like Lot wife, she gonna have to get left. Peace, bitch. I'm out.
See, that's if I can, cause see, that's the problem, man. There's a reason why the spirit has been hopping on Elder Apostle Rakah as of lately to go into these women. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta that's why we started off, Zaquan, before you came in. One of the first or second precepts we read was in second, that's just the 14th chapter, where it talks about set aside the mortal thoughts. All right. We in that time now, like, yeah, okay, we got wives, we got children, stuff like that, right? But we're not supposed to put them on a pedestal. All right, because you're gonna have certain brothers that are even in the truth. They're gonna be tested where the Lord's gonna get on about pushing his woman to him and say, "Look, babe, I went and signed us up. Okay, I got this one. She finna get chipped tomorrow, and then little Timmy, he finna get chipped on Friday. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be eating. You know what I'm saying? And here it is. You didn't sit up there and gave her your whole heart, right? Just like Solomon did, right? And then you gonna go ahead. And you're going to take that chip because you want to see your daughter, you want to see your son making stuff instead of putting your trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? It always makes me think about when Yahweh put Abraham in that position to sacrifice Isaac. Mm-hmm. That the difference was he had faith, knowing that, all right, look, I got to do what I got to do. Yeah, he may have felt some type of way, but he knew that Yahweh can raise him up. You see what I'm saying? Yep. You got to have the same mentality. We know that we could be in a situation. They could bust down your door. Martial law can come in. They can put a pew to your woman in the back of her head, take her in the other room, split y'all. She go in the other room and they can have her way. They can have their way with her. You see what I'm saying? And brothers really don't understand, you know, the magnitude of what's about to happen during Jacob's trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
The flip side of that is that Yahweh Shai is going to protect his elect. When you read verse 16, we're not saying that your woman may not be part of the elect. Your kids may not be part of the elect. It might just be you. That's the mindset you got to have. But like the brother said, GMS Salvation of the Elect posted Revelation 3:10, because you have obeyed my command to preserve, Shalakia, because you have obeyed my command to persevere, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world to test those who belong to this world, right? Because we don't belong to this world. So this testing is going to come to a lot of people, and they're going to fail. They're going to fail. Your woman, be prepared for her to fail, and just walk away. You got to walk. Everything you lose on this side, you're going to get 100%. You're going to get 100-fold back anyway, right? So it's fine. It's not a big deal. I know it's easier said than done, but this is where faith comes in at, right? The Lord said He's going to keep us from the time of testing. Not saying that you won't be tested. It's a great time of testing for all the world, but Yahweh Shai is going to give us the ability to overcome and to endure it. Was that all you wanted me to read? And
the GNT, you can read to verse 45 of Kusha.
Verse 41, it says, the merchants must not expect to make a profit from what they sell. They must be ready to run for their lives. Their customers must expect to lose whatever they buy. Whoever builds a house should not plan to live in it. Farmers should not expect to harvest their crops or pick their grapes. Those who marry must not expect to have children. And those who don't marry must live as if they have been.
Real quick, slack it. So in our video, we just the brother's playing right now with that dude, with that cartoon, that individual right there. You think living in our fucking condition, you think you're gonna have kids, man? You think you're gonna plan having kids? Having a woman?
Nope.
You know? Okay. There you go. That's why with Isaiah 51, the captive exile hasteneth that he might be loose. No, we need to get the fuck out of here, man, because the future of Esau is not looking too great at all.
That's why to back you up, that's why Apostle Paul said, be as though you have no wives. You know, that doesn't necessarily mean you fully neglect her, but that means you got to put things in its proper perspective. Yahweh Bashim Shai comes first.
Yeah, and if that means that you got to lose, you got to peace out.
Peace out.
It's nothing wrong with being spiritually selfish, bro. Because at the end of the day, everybody don't believe, man. Everybody ain't gonna believe what you believe, especially when we start being persecuted for who we believe in, for believing in Yahweh Bashim Shai, bro. Don't be shocked if your woman turn against you, or if your children turn against you. You know what I'm saying? And because at the end of the day, this is not who we are anyway. This is not our final form. This is not our final stage. Now, pre-eventually, Yahweh Bashim Shai have mercy on our families. They're gonna make it. Certain women gonna make it. We already know that. Some women gonna take hold of one man. So that love that you thought you had, that's gonna be short-lived. Because here come some real women that really believe, and they believe because they see the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai on you. So ain't no reason. Even if your kids go crazy against you, fuck them. They'll be all right. I'll see them in the kingdom.
That's right.
Exactly.
This ain't it right here. Right. We're about to transition. So at the end of the day, if they don't believe, if they want to stay in this world, that's because they of this world. But we're not of this world.
We're not of this world.
Right? Yep. Your family members, your children, whoever your so-called friends, these people are there. They're just a part of the story of your life on this side. That's all. You know what I'm saying? It says in verse 45, anything that is done will be useless. It's good to read this in the KJV, but it's okay. You know, I don't want to keep us too long, but the point of the matter is that, hey, look, bro, we gotta be as pilgrims on the earth, brothers. You know what I'm saying? Right. Point blank and simple. Like, it ain't even affect them. When the time is seriousness, bro, you ain't gonna have the spirit of, oh man, that's my lady. Oh man, that's my baby. Oh, that's my kids. Come on, bro. No, man. Fuck it. If she go take the kids down there and get chipped up, she get chipped up. You better pray to Yahweh Shai. You don't get chipped up. If she take them kids, you ain't got no control over that.
Nope.
Her faith in her lack of faith caused her to do that, right? And then take the children, and then guess what? That's their judgment.
Yeah, and that's a test. You see, that's the thing, because that can be a test unto you. But that's the beauty why we have these scriptures, because it tells you in 1 Corinthians, the 1st chapter, that there's no the 10th chapter and the 13th verse, I believe, where it talks about there's no temptation that have taken such as was to come into man, right? But with that same temptation, he is able to make a way for you to escape. So he could your lot could be, you could be tested to where, like you said, she can take the chip, the children can take the chip. But Yahweh Shemel Shah is looking at you to see what decision you gonna make.
Yeah, like
you know what I'm saying?
Matthew 10:36. And a man's foe shall be dead of his own household. Exactly.
Oh,
exactly, man. Well, you got that video?
Yep. Let's get back to it. Let's see.
Yeah, that was an amazing interview. And he told the story about writing this book on the Japanese central bank. I can't imagine a more obscure topic from my non-economically minded standpoint. It'd be like writing a book on postcards from the Falkland Islands. It's like, okay, a book on the Japanese central bank. And he said, well, actually, they suppressed it. I couldn't get it published in the United States, and you can't get a copy. And that's like checkable. So I checked it. You can't get a copy of that book. It's really hard.
You can. I think you can order from its publisher right now.
Okay.
Right.
But I mean, like, why would someone try to suppress
because
a book?
It shows you the true, it takes you right into the secret governance system, and it shows you the primary mechanism by which they implement policy.
Yeah. Well, it's always the things you're not allowed to say are probably the important things, right? I mean, whenever they penalize you for having a thought, you're probably on the right track.
Well, it's one of the critical train tracks of control. So it's what I call the third rail. So I used to finance transit systems and train systems. So, a lot of these systems have two tracks that the wheels go on, and then they have a third rail that the power line runs on. And you get a train trap that flips over and sucks the energy from the third rail. So a lot of the things that really operate the third rail are very invisible. And for example, in central banking, to talk about tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3 capital at the BIS and the banks, there's nothing more boring. It's designed to absolutely.
I just fell asleep in the middle of that sentence.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly. Right.
Is it boring by design?
The way you're taught to talk about it is boring by design. It's like the mechanisms of the legal system. If you look at the mechanisms of civil procedure or criminal procedure, it can, and you get into the weeds on it, it can be very boring unless you understand the application, and that can make it very interesting. But the capital, most people don't understand the capital's, sort of regulatory system. And yeah, it can get very, very boring.
Can you just
and commercial.
This game, you're not ready for.
For people who haven't seen your previous talk, explain what the control grid is, what it looks like, and what it means.
So the control grid is a process or an infrastructure that allows digital technology to be used to assert phenomenal surveillance and control of people.
Yes.
And at the very heart of it is what I call programmable money. So it's money that is no longer just a currency. It's money that comes with a set of rules that can be surveilled and forced. So imagine back in the pandemic, if your money, if I said, okay, you've got to lock down and your money won't work if you leave your house. You can't buy gas in your car because your money is programmed with AI and software to enforce a whole set of centralized rules. And programmable money allows the bankers who've been running monetary policy to now control fiscal policy and essentially replace legislatures and executive branch by making and enforcing the rules through the money. Now that requires a large infrastructure of surveillance. So you need digital IDs, and then you need the hardware locally and globally to to do the surveillance and implementation. So, for example, if you look at the local hardware, and now people are seeing it, now that it's material, they're beginning to see it snap into place. So I don't know if you know flock cameras, but there are many communities across the United States that are entering into contracts paid by the taxpayers to put up cameras all around their neighborhood that track license plates and keep that data and share it with a variety of people.
Yeah, real quick, just to land back what she's saying. The number one company in the U.S. that Donald Trump poured everything into is that company called Palantir. Now, there's a guy. There's a company that recently brought out TikTok. I think it's called Oracle.
Yeah, Larry Ellison.
Right. Now, his son, I don't know if you noticed, Saquon. Now, it was something that came out about his son a few days ago with the whole situation of them purchasing Warner Brothers or something because Netflix backed out of the deal.
Paramount? Paramount owns Larry Ellison owns Paramount. His son, they own CBS, Paramount, yeah, all that. Yeah.
Well, somehow both the father and the son, they have ties of working with Palantir to be able to control the data and information of every single U.S. citizen. Anything that they put out, all of that data goes back to Palantir. And there was a company, Lord's will, I'll be able to do a lesson on it. The original company that Donald Trump wanted to do the spying and everything and have total access to everybody's livelihoods, let's just say. Long story short, they backed out and they put a statement on their website saying that Donald Trump, along with this new artificial intelligence software, wanted to allow for AI to be able to be used for autonomous weapons, where these autonomous weapons, they don't need any human interaction to stop them, and that they can unalive a civilian based upon what they see fit. This is the times that we're in. And like I said, Lord's will, because I got the information, but if the spirit permits me, when I get some free time, I'll be able to put that lesson together in the So You Akim. So we're in that time now where the robots that they're testing, the dog robots and everything, what they're saying is with the help of Palantir, they're creating such an advanced system to where the AI is going to be programmed into these robots, and these robots, they're going to have your fate within their hands. So if you go and commit a crime or whatever that's worthy of a death sentence, they have the right to unalive your ass right then and there on the spot. This is why the scripture says in Daniel 12:1, okay, that, Michael is going to have to stand up for the children of thy people, because there's going to be a time so bad, unlike any other time that's ever happened on the planet Earth. You see?
Yeah.
So, like I said, Lord's will, if the spirit permits me, I'll be able to go into that. But basically, what I says, Aquan, is mentioning the father and the son.
Yeah.
There was a company that Donald Trump told all of the investors to take their money out of, because the company found out that the United States government wanted to use their artificial intelligence in the program that they're using for autonomous weapons. And these autonomous weapons to be placed, on their, robots and stuff like that. Hence why they started trialing the dog robots trolling the city. Well, if the artificial is in those robotic machines and stuff, your fate now becomes, within their hands, to where if you commit an act or whatever, they can unalive your ass right then and there on the spot.
Yeah, it's a slave state. It's just a restrictive state, point blank simple. The whole thing is going to be protected by AI, supposedly AI. Basically, going to be living amongst Terminators, man. Fucking Terminators, man. Trying to take you out, man. But this shit ain't going to see the light that they think it is, man. Yeah, how about Shah coming back? How Shah is coming back.
Yep. When the enemy come in like a flood, y'all was gonna lift up that stand.
Spiritual powers is coming to brothers. Spiritual powers to overcome this man, right? In all facets, we're gonna have power to heal, power to protect. We're gonna have powers, bro. We're gonna have strength, man. We're gonna be able to walk and not get tired, fly in these bodies. In these bodies. That was it. That's all I had.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna finish this out.
To go with what you just said before. It says Psalms chapter 17 and verse 11. It says they have not compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bound down to the earth, like as a lion that is greedy for his prey, and as were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Yahweh, destroy him, cast him down, deliver myself from the wicked, which is thy sword.
Yeah. Esau is a sword of Yahweh Shai. All of this Jacob's trouble is basically a correction. It's an ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? 2/3 gonna get it because they don't want to hear it. I was gonna do a lesson. I didn't get a chance to hit it, yo. But you got people asking your so-called celebrities what they think about the war in Iran. And so I came across this video, this rapper here in America called Finesse 2 Time. He just a nigga, a total nigga. And they asked him, what do you think about the war in Iran? He said, man, what I think about the war in Iran, man, I don't give a fuck about that. They ain't got nothing to do with me. They ain't gonna put no money on, no food on my plate. It ain't gonna give me no lotion sandwich. It ain't gonna give me no Salisbury steak on my plate. Like, I don't care about that. He said, I ain't gonna go into it and talk about the methodical. He's just a nigga, man. You got people asking the wrong people for answers, man, because people want answers. So they think that these people that you laud after, they're gonna give you the answers to get this. No, the answer's gonna come from the men of the Lord through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, man. Right? We giving you the answers why these things happen, because they're gonna ask him, what do you think about, all the hell that's going on? People can't eat, man. It ain't got nothing to do with me. You gotta, what his advice gonna be? Man, you gotta go out there and go get it. You gotta kill a nigga. He gave some of the stupid ass advice that I could ever heard a man give anybody. The nigga said, he said, like, yo, if you work at Burger King, be the best burger flipper you can, right? Go to work every day, flip them burgers. If people want certain things on a sandwich, they make sure they get it. And then after you've been working there for a while, follow the manager outside and beat his ass real bad. And then make sure he out for 3 months. Make sure he out for 3 months so you can take his spot. He said, but that's
what he gave?
Yeah, that's the advice the nigga gave. He said, make sure you beat the dude ass real good. You beat him up real good. And I guess, he's just a nigga, man. He just gave the dumbest fucking advice. It's like the nigga, they beat him up real bad. And then he said, if you want to be the district manager, you could do the same thing, but you can't do it, too close to each other. Because if not, they're just gonna send a nigga from another restaurant over you and shit. I'm like, what kind of advice is that? Because it sounds good, like, oh yeah, he telling the nigga to work hard and do what he got to do. Then he tells the nigga to go beat somebody up. So this is the same nigga you're gonna ask, what should I do if my family's hungry and we need to eat and we got
Jacob's trouble?
In Jacob's trouble. They gonna ask him this. And he gonna say, man, shit, you ain't gonna get it how you live. You better go do what you got to do. I'm doing mine. And that's these niggas, man. They cause you to sin, right? Because the nigga don't know. The leaders cause them an error. It ain't just, your leaders don't just consist of Jesse Jackass, Maxine Waters, Martin Luther for the Queen. It's these niggas. It's these niggas out here that you think that the nigga had no answers, bro. I wish I could play this video for you. Matter of fact, since I brought it up, bro, I like to share this video. And this tells you the real reason why you need the men of the Lord. Right? The men of the Lord, man. Because you got niggas like this that tell you stupid shit. Yeah, here it is right here. It is right here.
That's a good precept the brother put out.
Can't bring it out.
I think it's on your page, GMS Salvation of the Elect.
Yeah.
The Proverb 15:2. You see it? Yeah, that one. Yeah.
The tongue of the wise make knowledge appealing, but the mouth of the fool belches out foolishness. And you about to hear some foolishness belched out by this nigga.
No sound. Elder.
I ain't got no sound. Hold on, brother. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me unshare it.
Water.
Stop. Share screen. All right. Let me see if you can hear this, brother. I'm waiting for the brother to get back.
All good.
You can hear it, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just right here getting some water. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I don't get no damn about what I thoughts on Iran. Y'all want me to be honest? I don't get no damn about what Iran got going on. Ain't my business. I don't get no damn. Iran ain't gonna help me pay now bill. Iran ain't gonna put a French fry on my table. Iran ain't gonna put a Salisbury steak on my table. A lotion sandwich. They ain't gonna put shit on my table. The fuck I'm talking about Iran for? Let Donald Trump deal with them folks. Donald Trump ain't got time for this shit. That's some different shit. There's thoughts.
Damn.
I got another one.
And this, we might be going to war. This is serious. I don't care. I don't get no damn about no war.
True.
Man, I don't give a damn about no war.
You say, bro?
I said he's gonna get drafted.
He gonna die. He gonna die before the draft comes, bro. You gonna manage this nigga?
I know what that means.
Yeah, he's gonna die before the
I
draft.
don't get no damn about no war. Man, I don't give a damn about no war. Shit, I know what that means. We might well go on here and go buy some canned milk, some powder milk, some motherfucking meat, food that can last for years and years and years and years in packages. We might well go on and go buy some air conditioners. I already knew this day was coming.
Buy some
They didn't want to blow the whole world up and start over. And what the whole world be theirs. And it's just dead on it. I'm not finna break it down in the mythologicals and wheat colleges and in the Physaurus and them said all of those shit. That ain't what it is. Them folks just want to take over the whole world and start over by themselves and run the world. They want to be God.
Well, a broke clock is right at least twice a day.
That's right.
Toward the end of what he said was true. But he don't know who he's talking about. But this is what I'm saying. I'm using this guy as an example. These are Jake's leaders. These are the niggas that they're going to ask real questions to. When in reality, the answers are in the scriptures. The answers come through by way of the prophets. That's why you got to get with a man of the Lord. Mm-hmm. This nigga said, war's going to break out. You need to buy canned milk, because he can't say milk. He says milk. You need to buy canned milk, powdered milk, food that's going to last forever for years and years and years. That's what the nigga said. And don't forget, you got to buy air conditioners too. The fuck is an air conditioner going to do for me in a time of trouble, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, you go run around with it?
You don't know power's going to be out? How the fuck you use air conditioner with no power?
Yeah, exactly. But again, these are the people that people go to for wisdom. Right? I don't even know how you even got on this point, but the point of the matter is that this is the type of world. This is the type of world we living in, because this war is going to affect everybody. War affects everybody, and what follows close to war. Any brothers know what follows close to war? I'll tell you, famine. Look it up. Famine and war go hand in hand, right? Because you're already going to be living. And so this is a world war that's going to be popping off. You could go back to your video, brother. I just wanted to bring that out real quick. But famine goes back to famine and warfare. They're kindred. And restriction happens during World War II. There was restrictions. You had stamps, books to get food. You can only get a certain amount of food. That was it. Because
Damn.
everything was rationed. This is the same thing that's going to be happening in this situation. Things are going to be rationed. She's talking about money, programmable money. Just because things are going to be rationed, it ain't going to be like today. You ain't going to get no $200 or $300 and you go buy, a whole bunch of toilet tissue. That's not going to happen. You get one roll. That's it. You get one fucking roll for a household, nigga. Make it work. You get 1 pound of beef for the month. Make it work.
Make it work.
You get 2 pounds of rice, and if that, and then remember it said in you ain't got to get it, but it said that in Second Esdras that what people gonna buy, but be ready to buy it and lose it.
Lose it.
The niggas gonna be outside lurking. They're gonna be outside lurking, trying to rob people for their goods.
Because it says because of lack of bread.
Yeah, because the brother posted, famine and war are deeply intertwined with armed conflict being the primary driver of acute food insecurity and hunger. And the scriptures said that many that dwell upon the earth shall die of famine, and the famine, those that don't die in the famine, the sword gonna kill. It says food insecurity and hunger in the world today since 2017, conflicts have been responsible for vast majority of cases where food shortages have reached emergency levels, man.
So the scripture says the storehouses should be empty.
All of that shit. And remember, there's only three days worth of food in these supermarkets. And you think you're the only one that just got up early in the morning and said, I'm gonna stand outside and get this food? No, people already doing it. And by the time you get in the store, ain't gonna be nothing left. This is the time we're in. So we gotta seek Yahweh Shema Shai while he's able to be sought. Because really, it's Yahweh Shema Shai that's bringing all this wrath anyway. You know what I'm saying? You got it, brother.
Yep. All right, let's finish this off.
Or you have the FCC is trying to overrule local controls on cell towers, so they can literally put cell towers every 400 to 700 feet so that they can have the kind of invasive surveillance you need. Or you have satellites now that can literally beam in Wi-Fi so that whether you have Wi-Fi in your home or not, they can start to track you. And all those systems put you in what I call the panopticon. So we saw in the Middle East with the first war with Iran, we saw 11 leaders out of 12 sort of top leaders in science and government assassinated because they're literally tracking everyone, and they can identify them and track them. And then you have invisible weaponry that can then take them out, or, can identify missile strikes.
Apparently you can go from 0 to a complete site in just a single prompt with Wix Harmony. I don't know if this is going to be possible. Or
So
may I ask you, so you're talking about the 12-day war against Iran and
can I get a quick precept going back to what you said about how the whole tracking system? Psalms 56 verse 6, it says they gathered together themselves they hide themselves, they mark my steps, and how is I being down through this whole the internet, the Wi-Fi, then another thing that is trying to accomplish, to where he can really mark mark you really perfectly is going to be through that microchip. But guess what? The elect won't take that shit. So that's for the 2 thirds, like that nigga over there that was talking crazy. You're going to be marked. You're going to have that chip in you. There's no hiding for you. There's no hiding from Esau, man. Okay?
Yep.
So it says, they hide themselves, they mark my steps when they wait for my soul.
Damn. Yeah. Beautiful precept.
June of 2025.
Correct.
We were led to believe, just as newspaper readers or news consumers, that those 11 Iranian officials were targeted with human intelligence. That Israel had spies inside of Iran, but you're saying that was done digitally.
I would assume that that's probably true, because you always want to get human confirmation of what the systems are telling you. It's always better if you have both. But we are now moving into building out the kind of surveillance systems that can literally track, identify, and integrate with not only our existing weaponry, but ultimately autonomous weaponry. So
what did I say? Did I not say the autonomous weapon?
Yep.
It's here. We here, Akim. Let's continue.
Anyway, so let me step back. You've got three parts to the control grid. One is the local hardware and infrastructure, and that includes the data centers. Because if you...
The data? I thought those were for AI.
They are. Because if you look at what it takes to apply the equivalent of a social credit system to people's money, so the social credit system I apply to you is different than the one I apply to me. And if you look at the data I need to track you and test whether or not you're following the rules I've given you and enforce those rules, it's an explosive amount of data, particularly because you're looking not just at financial control, but spatial control. So what is AI good at, Tucker? AI is very...
Spatial control, movement control?
Yeah, so turn off the car. So Congressman Massey is trying to kill the kill switch in your car. That's because spatial control means I can turn off your car, or I can set it so your money won't work more than a mile from your home or a 15-minute city.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
You literally...
The scripture said what in 2 Esdras 15? It said that a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to go.
Should not be able to go.
Yeah, because not only because of the insurrection and all the shit that's popping off, this is what they want. This is a prison. You're basically living in a prison.
Yep.
Right? You in a 15-minute city prison. Right? This is why they wanted to switch all the vehicles to electric vehicles. Right?
Yep.
Because really, you're not going to have your own car. You can micropayment a car, right? Which you can go only a certain amount of miles, and that's it. And then the car, you got to park the car up, and then the next person jump in it, and they go. Right?
Yep.
And then you on foot, or you on a scooter, or you on bike. But all of that costs money too. Right? And this is a part of that. This is a part of the tracking. Can microscopic tag be fitted to a person for the track their whereabouts? You will rule on this. Mark my words. These are the words of Joe Biden, Senator Joe Biden at the time, to then incoming Supreme Justice Roberts. Man, he told him that shit, bro. This is what they want. They want you in a prison. You will have nothing on. The Lord didn't create this earth for us to live in no 15-minute fucking city, bro.
Nope.
How about Shah didn't create this world so that we have to eat on rations, man. Especially if we doing what the Lord tell us to do. Come on, man. The earth is ours. The earth was created for us, man. It wasn't created for the super elite. It wasn't created for no wealthy corporate magnate. And like she said, your social score is going to be different than hers. Right? And this goes back to what they got in China. They had built the system already in China. So they didn't have a previous system before. So when they came into building that whole infrastructure, the people took to it. And you know, now in America, it's a little harder because we're trying to build a new infrastructure over an old infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You putting these cameras in there, and it's not saying that like your chip is constantly beeping, but when you pass a certain marker, your chip is gonna ping. When you buy something, your chip's gonna ping. Right? When it's fucking slavery, bro. We ain't going back to this shit, bro. We out of pocket, nigga. I'd rather die and go back to the spirit world than have to bear with something like this, brother. I'm sorry. I don't mean to get emotional, man, bro. I get angry because I'm like, yo, fuck that, bro. I'm already in captivity. You want me in war? You got it, bro.
You're not allowed to leave your 15-minute city, and your transportation and your money won't work outside of that area. So let me step back. So what is AI good at? AI is very good at tracking things that can be expressed mathematically. And financial transactions and spatial movement can be expressed mathematically. And so what the AI centers are for primarily is to build that digital control grid and to manage that data. So, and now it can be used for many other purposes too. So it's not just going to be used for control. But to me, that's the primary purpose. And that, if you look at the cameras, if you look at the cell towers, if you look at the satellites, and then the AI, the data centers, those are all component pieces of the local hardware. So there are three sort of pillars that I track. One is the programmable money, and that's what we at Solari are trying to stop. The second is the digital ID, because you need digital ID systems that are interoperable globally, and then the local hardware. And those are sort of the three pillars. And what's interesting is there's phenomenal development of all three. We have a commentary at Solari where we track. It's called the Fast Approaching Digital Control Grid. And every week we update all the things that are being done to build those 3 pillars and have them integrate with each other. And ever since the inauguration, it's been moving very, very quickly.
Why? Why is that? Because they're running out of time. They're running out of time. They have to get this thing off the ground. That's why they're making more and more psyops. We went in that last night. They're bringing these more and more psyops because they running out of time. And they want to get this thing off the ground. But when you are about to fill your belly, the Lord is going to rain destruction upon you, man. The nuclear missiles, they're going to rain out. They're going to knock that fork out of your hand while you're eating. You're going to crack your fork, get out your hand. You're going to cut your mouth up and that shit. You know, this is all analogy breaks, but I'm just saying what's going to happen is America is going to be destroyed, man. Your system is going to be destroyed because you're not the Most High. You're not going to run a system in wickedness, bro. It's going to be, you think that the system that we living in now is so-called unequal and oppressive, bro. That shit right there, that's even more oppressive. She was talking about stopping it. You can't stop it. You ain't got the power to stop. It's already implemented. All these governments in the world have already agreed to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's all I had, man.
You guys got any closing precepts?
Nah, I thought about Jeremiah 5 and 6, but it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So all I can say, man, is keep your how about you outside first, bro. Don't let none of this shit scare you. This shit supposed to happen. It gotta happen. But your how about you outside is with us, man. Lord willing, we endure to the end and persevere.
Yep.
Keep fighting. Okay. Keep fighting. Keep faithful. Stay patient. Right. Stay focused. Right. Keep your eye on the prize, which is the kingdom of heaven. Right. And endure to the end. Keep pushing and keep striving. Hey, we almost out of here, bro.
That's right. This is real quick. Habakkuk chapter 2. I'm gonna start at the top. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. All right. And this is what's happening right now with the prophets, starting with the beloved apostles, bishops, and elders on down. Okay. And we're standing upon our watch as we take the things that are going on across the 4 winds and we cross-reference them to the prophecies and the scriptures. Hence why we come to you in these digital epistles to let you Akim know and you Akwathim that are listening and learning of what's said forth to come, right? It says, verse 2, and Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it, all right? And see, this scripture right here is what separates us mainly from any other Israelite camp, because when you go into this word run in the Hebrew, okay, real quick, it clearly tells you, all right, play it.
Strong's H 7323.
That's not the right one, but yeah.
It's Rahat. I think this is a Y, so it got to be Rawats. Rawats. Yeah, Rawats. Not
and Khan. And when you drop down to the Strong's definition, mainly it says to run for whatever reason, especially to rush, to break down. Okay, that's what we do. We break down the scriptures to divide speedily.
Yeah.
All right, which goes back to what 2 Timothy 2:15, right? Study to show thyself approved, rightly dividing the word of truth in so many words.
Yeah.
Roughly paraphrasing, right? So that's what we're doing, and the spirit has been heavy on the apostles of saying that GMS is the main camp that goes into the prophecies.
No other camp does. No other camp does. We got a couple of our affiliates out there floating, you know, even though we don't have affiliates, but you got brothers out there that follow Great Millstone and preach the same word. But Great Millstone is the only camp that talks about prophecy like that. The only camp from the apostles to the bishop, elders, and brothers on down. Don't nobody else speak about this that way. Nobody else speak about the mark of the beast on the level that the apostles and the bishop, elders, and the brothers on down on Great Millstone teach. Nobody. All these niggas talking about trying to be worldly free, worldly friendly Israelites, talking about your family and talking about this bullshit and all this other shit. We can't hate the white man, you know, giving you the wrong information about who Yahweh Shai is, bro.
That's right.
Who Yahweh Shai truly is. These people are fucking crazy, man. This is what you need to be talking about. Real quick, I'm sorry. When you done with that, can you go to
Yep.
Revelation chapter 19, verse 10?
Okay, Con.
You got it.
So last point, Habakkuk 2 and 3, it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." Okay, and this is what we are anticipating, right, via the prophecy that's set forth. Okay, this is the vision. All right, and hopefully the information that we was able to bring out here this evening, okay, or in the morning time, wherever your brothers are located, right, you starting to see the vision is as clear as day, right? I'll read the fourth verse too, because this is critical. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not right in him," and that's speaking about Esau. "But the just shall live by his faith." Okay, and that's what the elect is going to be doing, especially now in these times. All right, and the priest of the beloved, brother. Let me get it real quick. Revelation 19. You said verse 10, yeah.
Yep.
Revelation 19 and 10, it says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai." Worship power, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy.
Yeah, worship the Most High, because the spirit of prophecy, because worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. And that's what we bring in. And that's a good title for a lesson. We Great Millstone, we have the testimony of Yahushai.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
The testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy, bro. Nobody can tell you why these things are happening. We went through the MOTB. We talked about the Third World War. That nigga finessed 2 times. He ain't got it. He ain't got the spirit of prophecy. He got the spirit of Satan on him, hide up on them damn drugs, bugged out. But he's atypical of a 2/3 nigga out there. And then not just a thug, but these so-called pseudo scholars and these Negroes, these so-called leaders out here, they ain't coming in the spirit of prophecy, man. They ain't coming in the spirit of Yahushai, bro. They come in another.
Isaiah 8 and 20, "To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it's because there's no light in them."
There's no light in them. There's no truth in them, right? Yep. So that's all I had, brother.
God, that's all I got. You got anything, brother Yashar?
Nah, that's everything, man. That's everything for me as well. So
okay, Khan. So with that, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor be to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakaha, Kwadash. Double honors once again to the beloved apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who also teach well and rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, the tabernacle of David. And so on to the next, Abaratazah. Shalom.
Shalom, brothers.
Hey, the waters are quiet for popping